Yo, guys, so the new extinction creature was just revealed, the gas bags, and Extinction 76 is looking better than ever. I did go more in depth with this, so if you've already seen the trailer I'm about to show you, well, then you should skip ahead like 13 seconds or so, and we get more in depth into the, I guess, quote-unquote secret things that were blurred out in the background of the video footage, because there's actually a lot of interesting stuff, and then we get some really important extinction questions answered nearing the end of the, well, I guess through the end of the video more so, because there's so little content in the... You get the idea. Okay, guys, welcome back to ARK, and let's do whatever it is we do. Well, that right there is the new extinction creature, the gas bags. Now, we're going to move back into the trailer and speak about our favorite little can of crushed assholes, because this little guy isn't the focus anymore. The background is the focus now. And we see right off the bat two corrupted stegos walking towards the gas bags. Whether or not they're being aggressive, I do not know, but corrupted creatures are supposed to be very aggressive. We also see in the background some very strange, I guess, corrupted buildings, maybe on the ice. And then in the background here, after it uses its assholes and sadness attack, it flies off, but we see the city in the background of this screen. And actually, part of the city looks completely destroyed if you look to the left. One building is barely standing, unless that's the architect, you know, making a statement. Hey, we can do whatever. And giant ribs, too, which kind of concerns me. Now we see moving into this, there is a dome in the background with some kind of structure, and then the gas bags happily lands down in front, so we can't see what exactly is there. And there's a hill there as well, unfortunately. Now I do want to make a note too about the gas bags. We've known about this thing for a while, and it seems like we're seeing the, I guess, majority of the special attacks. We did see here, I assume that is an inhale attack, and now it exhales and blows any hostiles away. But who cares about that? We see the background, we see the city. I don't see anything too special in the background, unfortunately. We see a giant dome, which I'm not familiar with. We see some more corrupted creatures in the background. Clearly a corrupted Rex and some other things as well. I think that Rex is feeding on Element, actually, because we could see Element right there on the piles, and then we land right next to another corrupted creature. And there was something else in the background of that frame. I don't know what exactly it was, but it was big. And it was really, really nasty. Now, there's nothing else really happening in this scene right here. We will revisit that previous scene because that's kind of interesting to me. That's basically it for the gas bags. So, right here, it's landing in, and we see a very large creature that is severely corrupted next to another corrupted Rex. I think that is the, starts with a C, I believe, but you probably know already if you've played the game. That's what I come to the conclusion of, but like, it has something weird on its side, almost like a saddle or something like that. I don't know, that's kind of weird. And then we move into this scene where we get a clearer look at what's in the orb back there. Now, this is actually kind of interesting to me because this looks like the starting zone from the end of Aberration when we landed on Extinction itself, the planet Earth. The reason why I say that is because it has the same dome that we initially go into, and surprisingly enough, we also see some of those buildings at the edge of the dome, and we see the very large tower as well. But I kind of question if that would be a starting zone or where we land, for the simple fact that, you know, we have the entire city there, so why would they have that section right there facing away from the city and then the tower, unless maybe that's just a distant background or something? Does that make sense to you guys? It kind of makes sense to me. I wish it wasn't Gaussian blurred with their Ansel stuff, but we can't really come to any determination until we see this in-game as well, or we get unblurred pictures from the ARK devs. Okay, guys, so that's basically everything on the new ARK creature that's coming out. The gas bags, we saw special attack, stuff like that. Now, here is where you come in to the equation. Well, I guess you've been here the whole time, but you get the idea. So, if there's anything you think I missed or any new information that was recently released about Extinction, you need to let me know in the comments section so I can read down through that. And if you have a piece of information that's actually pretty important to me, well, then I will definitely include you in the next Ark Extinction video as well. Now, that said, I know there's not really much in the trailer that they had shown. I think I covered everything, but if I missed something, for the love of God, please tell me. Please, I need content. I need to make videos. Regardless, guys, I'm just kidding. There were some important questions answered previously in the Ark Digest that, well, I guess I'm not overlooking now. And they're about Titans, the gameplay of the Titans, and just Extinction overall. So we're going to move into the questions that were asked by the community and the answers given by the developers of Ark Extinction. And, well, that's basically that. So hopefully some of your questions were answered as well, or any of the curiosities you faced are, well, no longer curiosities. Yeah, okay, hey, can we just... And now we pop over to the digest. Now, I usually don't pay attention to these too often. The only time I really look at these, and I'm probably right in saying you as well, is when they're featuring a new creature or they're showing a video of some sort for something cool that's coming to the game that's an official update and stuff like that. I'm not really interested in the official modding stuff and stuff like that for Ark, because that's just me personally. Some mods are cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm not generally sold on the idea of covering them all. However, there were some important questions asked that they actually picked out and decided to answer. They were kind of interesting. I wanted to speak to you guys about these for a moment and get your thoughts on them, basically. Then they have the extra life stuff with the fan art and stuff like that. That's actually pretty badass. I don't know who made this, but you're a badass, and I'm pretty sure it's probably listed up here somewhere, and I'm just too lazy to read it, so sue me. The first question from Asher was, will Extinction have an ocean or at least a large body of water for some bigger aquatic creatures? And they replied with, Extinction does not have a large body of water. As you can imagine, the surface of Earth has undergone some dramatic changes, one of which is that most of the water has dried up. That said, we did build the Extinction creatures with water in mind, and there should be a few surprises waiting for you when you take them to other maps. So right off the bat, even though there is no aquatic stuff happening in the Extinction DLC itself, we are led to believe by the answer here that if you take your Extinction creatures to other maps, they actually are able to do things in water that they wouldn't be able to normally do over on the other map, which is Extinction's map. Now that kind of, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, why would they adapt to have these special abilities that we can't use on the Extinction DLC's map? But at the same time, it kind of gives reason to make it to Extinction and then bring your creatures back with you after your adventures there to whatever other map you want, be it the island or whatever. At this point, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but once I make it to the end game map, I don't really want to bring the end game stuff back to the basics of the beginning map and stuff like that, but I'm sure that's subject to everyone's feelings on that. Something just very generic here. You guys know that we get like Pokeballs basically to capture other creatures. Well, these cryopods or whatever that they're going to have, they won't actually count against the tame cap of the server. So you can have one and it won't count. I assume when the tame cap is reached, you can't release that creature until the cap goes down, which is kind of a drawback. But maybe you can also swap creatures out if you want to. And I also really, really hope this deals with the issue of just like hundreds of dinosaurs flooding bases and you can't really take in the beauty of that base. Now, a question from Natix is, as you mentioned in the previous digest, Titans are going to be temporary tames. Will Titans have more uses for PvE players who aren't looking to go to war, or are they going to be solely for PvP like Titanosaurs? Now, this right here was a really important question for me because I was wondering, I absolutely hate how the Titanosaur is designed. I hate how hard it is to tame this thing. I hate the limited amount of time you get with this thing after you tame it. It's just all around, I do not enjoy that system at all. It's not that it's a bad system. It's just for my own personal preferences and taste, I don't like it. That's all. Their answer was, our hope is that Titans bring a new type of PvE encounter to the game with in-world boss fights and interesting new mechanics that are interesting in themselves. Once tamed, Titans are very powerful. They can clear space and take down lots of dinosaurs quickly, making them good for cleanup or meat runs. In addition, we're working to make each of them fun to ride. I enjoy exploring various maps on them for that reason. Now, I don't know exactly what Titans are gonna hold in store. It's one of those things where we really have to experience and weigh the pros and cons, the difficulty versus the reward, and go from there basically. Like that's pretty self-explanatory. Now this was actually one that I was really interested in as well, and I wish I had asked this one myself, but in a previous teaser, we saw some defense units roaming the land, this time without their supreme leader summoning them. Is this the chance we've been waiting for to tame them instead of ripping them apart limb from limb? And basically, that's it for that question. They replied with the defense units found within Extinction are parts of the automated force that served and defended the city before it fell into disarray. These days, they like to roll around and punch dodos. They aren't craftable like the other robots found within the city, such as the Scout or Enforcer, but we felt like they brought a missing piece to the ecosystem there, namely punching dodos. That right there, I absolutely love what they're doing with this now. And I mean that in the punching dodo, no, I'm just kidding. I like this. I actually like this a lot because we're going to see these defense robots. We get an idea of the lore and why these robots are there. They were rolled out to defend the cities, which obviously they failed in their task, which is unfortunate. Now, what actually made them fail, I would like to know more of. I want to know exactly why Earth itself caved in on itself, because you look at the other arcs and like they're flourishing ecosystems that really don't have many issues besides the horrible overseer program that has a terrible monstrous bug that's causing it to do things sometimes every now and then. But otherwise, like the arcs versus Earth, you know, how can they not fall into disarray after so long? But, you know, Earth right away is already completely destroyed and just assholes and sadness. Now, the final question was, since we already have seen a glimpse of some wyvern action on the land below, can we confirm Extinction will have some more creatures from previous expansions living on Earth's crust? And if so, will they be living under similar conditions as they were on their respective arcs accordingly? The devs replied with, there are a number of creatures that make their return in Extinction, and they exist in biomes and environments that you'd expect to find them in. In addition, a number of existing creatures have been corrupted by element, and they roam the wasteland. These creatures will not behave as they traditionally would, instead destroying anything that gets in the way of the hunt and yada yada yada, and they want additional element to consume. Now, I just want to weigh in real quick on this whole element idea for creatures in Ark, okay? I like how they look. I like the idea of these creatures. However, I feel like they're just going to be a reskin with some reprogrammed AI. I don't think they're going to have any special abilities. I don't think they're going to get anything that makes them like stand out other than the fact that they're a little bit more aggressive, untamable, and, well, their new skin. I would much prefer they focus on creating all brand new creatures rather than porting over the creatures they have and reusing those creatures and just giving them a new skin. But maybe, just maybe, they're going to do more than just give it a skin or something like that. Maybe they're changing a lot more than we know yet. But right now, I'm not really sold on the idea, and that's just that, basically. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. That's just like, from what I've seen in Ark mods, for instance, a lot of these mods are just size scales of creatures when they make them bigger or smaller, or they give them a different skin. Don't get me wrong, a cosmetic appearance is always cool to me when they're done well. But in this case, for a new DLC, I don't know. I will have to wait and see. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section about it too. So I was just given a heads up. Apparently something was accidentally put onto the Ark Wiki or something about Extinction or gameplay footage or something like that. Something apparently was put here that wasn't supposed to be here. I don't know if there's a way for me to check the edits of the wiki itself to see like what exactly happened. According to someone, there is a image right now floating around of a close-up of one of the new Titan creatures and something unexpected or something like that, and like a GIF or video, WebM, whatever you want to call it. Guys, check out the wiki. Make sure there's nothing here that's like, weird or out of place, because apparently something happened. I've been looking down through some of the pages. I don't see anything, unfortunately, and I'm kind of upset about that, but apparently it was big. So you should definitely go over here and check it out and tell me if you find anything, because I'm looking, I don't see anything, but it might be gone too. That's just it. I don't see any recent updates to the wiki. Maybe it was just all a lie. Maybe nothing happened on the wiki at all, but I'm not going to ignore the fact that something might have just happened. So I'm here searching right now like a dumbass, because that's just what I do. But no, though, in all seriousness, since the last time I visited the wiki, they've actually updated it a lot, and there's a lot more information here showing everything about ARK Extinction currently. We have unique creature titans, other spawns, and a bunch of the items down right here. Explorer notes as well for dino dossiers, and I'm wondering what the Explorer notes are going to show in Extinction's final chapter. I'm wondering what we're going to read, what we're going to see, or if it's all just visually based, hey, this happens, this, maybe a cutscene or something. That'd be kind of cool too, just to see what happens. But I feel like, oh man, those dossiers are going to be awesome. I can't wait to read into the story and find out what finally happens to us after so long of playing ARK. I haven't really seen too much as far as images or anything like that on the site so far for the corrupted creatures. We do have the option to click on corrupted raptor and stuff, but it just brings you to the normal raptors dossier and stuff, which is kind of unfortunate. And then they have all of the stuff down right here where they're speaking about different things, and then there is some notes and trivia. Now, we do have images as well, but all of these are images we've already seen, from the original reveal of ARK Extinction being worked on to the releases of images in the trailer and stuff like that, and our very first Titan reveal as well, which was intentionally made there to hype us up and make everyone spend their money. Now, looking into this further with the Air Titan that we had discovered in the last video, we kind of almost have confirmation here that there is such a thing as the Air Titan, the Sky Titan, whatever it really is. Though there is always a chance too, we didn't see anything in that image, and this page was created just because of hype. But you guys understand that it's actually right here. Some kind of giant thing is hovering in the sky, obviously. So that, if there is an Air Titan, well, then this is the Air Titan. The Forest Titan is also here as a somewhat reveal of the image right here. And, well, that's basically old news as well. And then the Frost Titan, which is this guy right here. We've seen him in the trailer, actually, which is kind of interesting. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is the Scout and the drones you will be able to make versus the mechanical beings walking around on the island and stuff like that. Now, it's clear to me that they won't be tameable, but I would like to see a hacking method, for instance. If you could make some kind of tech that could latch onto them and hack their systems and make them friendly to you. I'm also kind of wondering why on earth are these tech beings that were made to be defenders hostile towards humans. You would think a robot program to be hostile to enemy forces other than humans wouldn't attack humans that it sees. It doesn't make sense to me why that is the case, unless maybe it sees you as something else because you have the arm implant. That's the only thing I can think of when it comes to that, and maybe that has some kind of secret or something in it. I do remember ages ago there was a statement made that the implant, the specimen implant that we currently have, is a lot more than it appears, and it may actually be the makeup of us as a being. For all we know, we might be a cybernetic creature that, we assume is human. Maybe we're not human at all, and that's the giant extinction reveal. And humans did, in fact, go extinct because we ourselves are not human. We're just made of nanobots. And getting into more theory crafting. Oh boy. All right, guys, that is it for now on ARK. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section on everything you have seen in this video. And let me know if you think I missed anything or if I got something wrong. I'm open to expanding and correcting if I need to correct things. Okay, guys, have a good day. We'll see you in the Extinction 76 deals. Is that joke overused now? Yeah, it probably is.